The boy jolts awake. A monster with gaping jaws stares right at him. Will grabs the shotgun and pulls the trigger. The monster staggers back, and Will bolts out of the cabin, sprinting into the woods. He scrambles up a tree, thinking height will keep him safe. However, the monster can climb too. Will screws up his courage and hurls himself to the next tree. Lucky for him, his backpack catches on a branch. Breaking his fall, he only passes out when he hits the ground. The monster drags Will back to its lair. Then Vecna, its ruler, steps forward. Vines wrap around Will, lifting him up and pinning him to the wall. A tentacle slithers over Will's mouth, and a strange substance effounces into his body. But Vecna doesn't hurt him. He lets Will go on purpose. That's why later, his mom and the chief are able to venture into the Upside Down, rescue Will, and bring him back to reality. Over the next 4 seasons, strange things keep happening in Hawkins, and it's all Vecna's doing. His real name was Henry, the first child born with superpowers. He killed his mother and sister to gain greater power, only to collapse when he tried to murder his father. Hawkins' lab took Henry into custody, suppressing his abilities. The lab wanted to replicate his abilities in other kids, hoping to gain an edge in the Cold War against the Soviet Union. 11 was the 11th child they trained with powers. Henry tricked 11 into removing the chip that limited his abilities, then slaughtered all the lab staff. Grief-stricken and terrified, 11 tapped into power beyond her limits, banishing Henry to the Upside Down. There, he transformed into Vecna, the noseless monster we know. By the end of Season 4, 11 and her friends stopped Vecna from destroying the town. But Vecna didn't die. He went into hiding, and even tore open 4 gates to the Upside Down. 18 months later, it's 1987. The entire town is under full military lockdown. The church, where the 4 rifts converge, is a restricted zone. Civilians aren't allowed anywhere near it. The military blames 11, their so-called super-powered culprit, and hunts her down with helicopters and specialized gear. They shoot her with a tranquilizer dart, knocking her to the ground. But when they get close, they realize it's a decoy. The real 11's hiding out in the wilderness, training intensely with the chief and Joyce. She pushes her limits, desperate to grow stronger and defeat Vecna once and for all. Meanwhile, high schoolers notice the military has cut all radio signals. Robin's always slipping snarky digs at the military into her radio segments. To restore communication, 4 teens head to the signal tower. But to fix it, they have to climb to the very top. And it's the perf court chance to sweep Nancy off her feet. Steve and Jonathan race up the ladder, fighting to be the first to the top. They hit the peak at the same time, hook up the wires, and rush to take credit with Nancy, only to find she and Robin are long gone. Nancy cares way more about beating Vecna than their little testosterone contest. Minutes earlier, prior Detective Murray snuck into town in a delivery truck, posing as a driver. He brings them bullets, grenades, and a stolen military plan. Tonight at 10 p.m., they're sending supplies into the Upside Down. They're seizing the chance to sneak into the Upside Down, find Vecna, and end this nightmare for good. Though they failed 37 times in previous infiltrations, nothing's stopping their resolve now. Using her radio host cover, Robin sends a coded message about the plan. The 4 boys in the cafeteria and the chief out in the woods crack the code, learning the details. The chief refuses to let 11 go. He's terrified the military will snatch her the second she's spotted, and even more worried she'll get hurt facing Vecna. 11 can't win the argument, so she storms off. Joyce understands that urge to protect the kids all too well. She gives the chief a kiss, telling him to come back safe. When they're assigning tasks, Will suddenly feels the world spinning, childish laughter echoing all around. His friends notice him breaking out in cold sweats, but Will writes it off as nerves, brushing off the weirdness. Meanwhile, when some classmates pin a kid to a spinning ride and spin her non-stop, she locks eyes with the same swirling sky as Will. It's none other than Nancy and Like's sister Holly. The school bell rings, but Holly ignores it, walking straight to the fence to chat with a man. When the teacher comes looking, she finds Holly talking to thin air. The teacher calls Holly's mom to school, reporting her strange behavior. Holly tells her brothers the mysterious man said there's a monster in town that eats kids like her. Mike thinks his sister's scared by all the chaos and made up an imaginary friend to comfort her. He lies, monsters aren't real, and gives her a game character figurine, encouraging her to be her own hero. The group's meetup time rolls around, but Dustin's nowhere in sight. He's the only one missing. Turns out he's run into trouble with the basketball jocks. Back in Season 4, Eddie, leader of the game club, was framed by the basketball captain as a cult leader and murderer. Becoming a wanted man by the police, Eddie and Dustin snuck into the Upside Down to fight bat-like monsters. He sacrificed himself to buy the others time to stop Vecna from invading the real world, becoming a hero in Dustin's eyes. But to the townsfolk who don't know the truth, Eddie's still a fugitive. Dustin, who stood up for Eddie, can't avoid being bullied by the basketball team. Mike and the others tell him to lay low and focus on Vecna, but Dustin can't stand his friend being slandered. He puts a pet snake in the bully's locker, making him humiliate himself in front of the class. After class, Dustin goes alone to the cemetery to visit his fallen friend. Eddie's tombstone is covered in insulting graffiti sprayed in blood. Dustin cleans it off silently. But the bully and his crew lay in wait, ambushing Dustin to get revenge, beating him black and blue. The group can't get in touch with Dustin because of this, but time's of the essence, so they have to leave him behind and split into 3 teams. The chief crawls into a tunnel, heading for the military-controlled area. Mike and Lucas take position on a high building to scout the army's movements. Once the soldiers burn the vines blocking the gate with flamethrowers, they signal the chief. He uses the smoke as cover, climbs into the back of a truck, and sneaks into the Upside Down with the convoy. Meanwhile, the search team moves out. Steve and Jonathan drive a van in the real world, following the chief's signal to make sure he doesn't get lost in the Upside Down. The rest stay at the base to relay information. They've pulled off 37 infiltration attempts before. Their teamwork is solid. But this time, trouble hits right after the chief enters the Upside Down. Will seems to see something. Freezing stiff, a monster attacks the soldiers. In the chaos, the chief gets shot in the stomach. The monster smells blood, jumps onto his truck, tears through the roof, and kills the driver. The truck crashes into a tree. At the same time, Will collapses in convulsions. His vision merges with the monster's. He watches it race toward Nancy's house. With the monster gone, the chief jumps out of the truck. But the abnormal electromagnetic signal from earlier shuts down the secret base's power. He's completely cut off from his team. Listening to the monster's roars, the chief chases into the woods. Joyce punches Will awake. He panics, telling everyone Vecna's back. And this time, his target is Nancy's family. Nancy's stomach drops. She grabs 11 and speeds home. Right then, Nancy's little sister Holly's in her bedroom. Every light flickers simultaneously. Next, the ceiling splits open with cracks, and the monster's head emerges from the Upside Down.